anytime anybody says, you know, the Americans won the war or ally, you know, the reality of it to me is that had there not been the war with Russia, the attack on Russia, would have been a very different outcome. And so the Russian people lost 30 million. The number, you can double or triple their number of dead as compared to all the other allies put together. And so there, and I was able to bring their the fortitude of their women in the next book in Wolves at Our Door, when I describe the night witches, one of my very favorite examples, because they were all young women. They were given very flimsy old aircraft, and their job was to go literally, physically drop bombs on the German troops that were 5-10 miles away. They would do maybe 10 or more missions each night. And so they were very brave, very brave, and on their own, because the Russian men didn't give them any respect. They were subjected to, you know, all of the, unfortunately, historically aggressive comments and graphic and things like that. So they had to deal with their men counterparts, and the fact that their planes were so slow that when the German Messerschmitts would come to try and shoot them down, they'd have to slow down, but they'd have to slow down to the point where their engine would stop. And so lots of times when the Germans were trying to shoot the night witches down, they would crash their planes. They were called night witches because they had struts and their dual wings that would whistle and make a sound that the Germans said sounded like a witch's broom through the sky. So they were the night witches. And there are a few that are still alive. And they were 18, 19, 17, 20 years old. Their command was 23 or 20, something like that. But they were feared. They did it, you know, once again, they're young, and they're seeking revenge, and they're defending their lives, their homeland, and themselves, and their unit. And so it was very difficult to defend. When they would come at night, they could even cut their engine. And there's no sound until the bomb that they drop explodes.
Very brave, very brave.